how would one go about to make sure that their family environment is protected from all this? What are some of the steps? What are some of the things that they could do with their, I don't know, their digital space? Who do they connect to? How do they get involved to make sure that this is as avoidable as possible?
Well, first of all, parents have to start talking to other parents to find out what's going on in their houses. This isn't hanging the dirty laundry. Everyone's going through this in the world. And the other thing, part of digital supervision, I tell parents, put your router either in the family, into the master bedroom, or a locked closet and the parents have the key so that you can turn it off at night. There are two reasons for this. Number one, you want to make sure your child cannot get online at night. And number two, you're telling your child you are in charge of the internet. Because right now, most kids think they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're just getting off with murder online. And people, literally, they're video games, but people will say, my child knows so much more than I do about it. And I'm like, your child is not a genius because they can operate these machines. They're so user-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I've taught advanced level computer programming and I've taught computer applications. Their aptitude on these games is about equal. It does not take genius material to run them. Your child may be running their fingers on a cell phone. You think that's genius. No, it means they can move their thumbs fast. You know, look at their cell phones. Check the icons on the cell phone. See that it's not connecting to a nudes ring around the school because this is happening. The one thing is to move that router and have the children dock their cell phones in the parental bedroom at night for charging,
Mm-hmm.
so that they do not have access to any digital means. Make sure there are no unsecured routers in your neighborhood. That's the first step to taking over the internet in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Because if listeners realize it, they have to realize that if they haven't done all this, their child is in charge of their internet.
Right.
This will say, well, we have rules. They can only be online at certain times. Well, big deal. Are you watching what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
That is a good step, and I commend people for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much more that needs to be done. We have to digitize our parenting.
Yeah. Is there a system, or is there a rule of thumb or something? Because like sometimes when you go, okay, we have to watch this, we have to make sure we know everything that they're doing, and then there comes that barrier of what's trusting and what's not trusting. Is it overstepping and not enough? How do you navigate through that?
Well, my first question to anyone is, do you drive your child to school?
Mm-hmm.
Do you drive them to their sporting games, their dance routines? You drive them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they can go online with no supervision because it's protectionism that's taking you to drive your child to school, to make sure they're with other friends when they walk to school, things like that. If we don't start looking directly on what they're doing on these devices, we're selling this generation short.
Right.
And that generation's already graduating. And we're seeing the results of it.
Mm-hmm.
The shooting, the lack of compassion, the gang, people being beaten up by gangs, and they're taping it and putting it online with pride and laughter. There's something wrong with that. We're not doing our jobs. Traditional parenting is excellent. People have to change their mindset that they have to digitize. Put a keylogger on a cell phone of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will know every keystroke they make. Comprehensive will give you the pictures and videos that they're sharing and things like that. And then every time I speak, someone will say, isn't this an invasion of privacy? And I caution anyone on that one, because this is not a diary in the end table of a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
This is the internet.
Right.
So I say, is it invasion of privacy or evasion of parental responsibility? Give you a bit of a history lesson. In the year 2000, I was managing a network, and we were in awe of a brand new network that had moving pictures, animated GIFs. 22 years later, we are live streaming. We have Zoom.
Yeah.
We have all of these things. 22 years isn't a long time for parents to realize the need to digitize their parenting. We have to start making sure our children know that we are in charge of what's going on. If a parent has a cell phone for a child, they have given it to them for Christmas, I will ask the kids in the school, how many of you own a cell phone? Every hand will go up, and I'll say, no, you don't, your parents do. And whatever is done on that cell phone, they are responsible for it for two reasons. They pay for the plan. They own the plan, but you're under the age of 18. And if you are exchanging inappropriate pictures, then your parents have the pictures in their hand. It's their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Getting your parents in. When I'm done talking like this, and I tell these kids this, they're like, really? And they all think they're going to get off with it. A lot of them are. But there's going to be that one child that's going to get caught.
Yeah.
And they will be charged for producing and distributing.